There's this very specific genre of content that will make me cry. It's not your typical like life or death type stuff, okay? Let me just explain. Stories of people having the audacity to believe in themselves and believe in this huge vision, even and especially when nothing around them and nobody around them believed in them, when they had no reason to believe that they had this special amazing vision, but they just chose to believe anyway. I know that's so specific, but that's the whole point. I want to read to you this rap lyric. It's an up-and-coming rapper. Her name is Milena, and she does these like car freestyles or car raps. I want to read you this one because it made me cry while I was watching it on TikTok. And again, it's like rap music, so no one else is listening to it really crying. You never took the time to understand the difference between being separated and being alone. They're two different things, so don't get them wrong. See, when he got a plan for you, he puts you in your zone so you can recognize the purpose that he put you on. I just got goosebumps. She's essentially talking about how lonely it feels when you're on this path and when you feel like you have this purpose and people around you might not understand because it's not meant for them to understand. It's your purpose. The part where she says, you never took the time to understand the difference between being separated, being intentionally separated, and being alone. Like it looks the same at first glance. You might just see somebody living this life where they're not like everybody else. Whether you want to choose to look at that as that person is alone and lonely or that person is being chosen or separated is really your choice, but it looks the same at face value. For me, the two most important things in my life right now is my weight and my career. Weight has been something that has kind of informed the way I look at my self-love journey, my self-worth journey. And I'm in such a great place. Even though I haven't lost the weight that I wanted to lose, I truly feel and I know that 90% of the journey for me was mental. And I've done so much of that work that now I actually, for once in my like 15 plus year journey of going through this, feel excited and confident that I'm gonna get this done. And the career thing, I want to build this career. I want to be like a full-time creator, full-time influencer, serial entrepreneur where I truly am my own boss. Those are the two paths in my life that I'm laser focused on. And I want to talk about the weight thing because something like vivid happened the other day that just messed with my head, where my brother-in-law was in town. We always joke that he's the Tasmanian devil. Every time he comes into town, we just like ditch our routines, ditch our diets, ditch everything. I don't like being taken off my routine, especially when I'm home. Like I'm not on vacation if someone's coming to visit me. So it was really important to me this time around. And I even texted him like, Jamal, you're not about to Tasmanian devil my life. I'm letting you know right now, I'm going to stay disciplined regardless of what everyone else is doing. My sister, who's really close friends with my brother-in-law too, and my husband, they were all in for the shenanigans. We all went to this one pizza place and they were all getting pizza and there was like an ice cream right next door. So they were getting pizza and ice cream. And I literally didn't get anything. I just ordered my salad that I was going to pick up after we left the pizza place. But I remember sitting there feeling bad for myself. Like the self-pity was so real. I was just sitting there like, oh my God, this is so sad that you have these goals that make it so that you can't live life like a normal person. Like everyone in your life is just enjoying their pizza and is enjoying their ice cream and they get to not worry about this thing that you have to deal with because you have this weight loss goal. Your body is just not like everybody else's. Like I'm just telling myself all this depressing stuff. I've done this in the past, but I'm at a point now where I'm starting to be much more cognizant of the thoughts that I allow myself to have. My brain used to just get away with saying whatever. Now it's like, hold up, come back. Let me pull those thoughts back and look at them and see if these are the kinds of thoughts I want to have. And I was like, you sound like you're playing victim. You could have got a pizza. You could have got ice cream. You are making a decision not to do that. You are making a decision to even want to lose weight. That's a choice. You don't have to do any of this stuff. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. Nobody is freaking forcing you. I know this sounds mean, you guys, but I promise it comes from a place of tough love. As long as I know I am loved, and this is from people in my life, except for Ahmed, I don't let him tough love me. Like, I don't need tough love from my husband. But from everyone else in my life, tough love has always really worked on me. And so my internal narrator, and if yours is not like this, do what works for you. I could have said it in a nicer way, but accountability is so much a part of my love language that I needed to hold myself accountable. So my internal narrator comes from a place of love, but also accountability and checking me. Like, stop being a baby. It's okay to feel upset, but just understand you are making a choice. And so you have two choices. You either decide this is still what you want to do and then take the actions that align with that, or decide you don't want to focus on your weight today and you want to have your pizza and you want to have your ice cream, and do that. Like, don't be in this limbo phase where you're choosing one thing but then feeling like you wish you did something else, because that's just not productive for anyone. That sat with me for months. This was months ago, you guys. And that thought of like, you're playing victim. Like, I never saw myself as someone who played victim. I'm like, wow, that's so profound. I'm so glad that I realized that, because now I can actually work on it, because I don't want to think about this approach through that lens of like, I'm this basket case who's dying to lose weight and it's just so sad. That's not how I want to see myself. I was also reading this book called The Alter Ego Effect. And in this book, he works with these pro athletes, he works with all these like high achieving people, and he helps them craft an alter ego. And there's so much research and science around identity. Like, the way that you see yourself is going to ultimately determine what you're able to do in life. Every habit book talks about this too, by the way. So he's helped these really successful people have this alter ego that they can tap into that will help them see themselves in the way that they really want to see themselves. I don't think he worked with Kobe or Beyonce, but he speaks about their alter egos. So like Kobe as the black mamba, and it's this really intentional snake that like goes in for the kill. And if you've ever watched Kobe play basketball, he's very graceful, but he's also very like deadly when he plays. May he rest in peace. And then also Beyonce, she talks about this a lot on her interviews with Sasha Fierce. Beyonce grew up very like a church girl. Her image was very pure. So when she has to get on stage shaking her butt, throwing shade, and it's very bold. But boldness was not really part of her character, and is not part of her character really when you look at her in interviews. So she'll tell you that like in interviews, she's Beyonce. The second she steps foot on stage, she's Sasha Fierce. And that enables her to step into this more sexual, bold, badass boss bitch persona that she doesn't really see herself as outside of that. And I just was really, really inspired by that, because it gives you a different way of looking at authenticity. You can be so many different things, and there is a time and place for you to choose to be those things and not be those things. So I started to think about like, okay, when it comes to my approach towards my career and my weight, like the two things I'm laser focused on right now, how do I want to approach these things? So I went back to the Beyonce thing, and I'm like, oh my God, Beyonce probably wouldn't eat the pizza and probably wouldn't eat the ice cream, and she probably would have got the salad. The difference, even though both of us were doing the same exact thing at face value, is she wouldn't have been feeling bad for herself. She would have been like, bitch, I'm Beyonce. I'm not eating that shit. Okay? And it's not to look down on anyone who eats any of that. And not to say that I won't ever eat any of that. But right now I have this goal. These behaviors don't really align with that goal, at least not in a leisurely daily way, right? Why can't I transition from looking at it as, oh, this is so sad, self-pity, to looking at it like, no, I'm on this path that other people aren't on, and that's okay. I'm choosing to do the thing because my path looks different. So I started kind of crafting an alter ego recently that is inspired by the Beyoncés of the world, who, you know how everyone jokes, like Beyonce has I can't believe she has the same 24 hours in a day. And I'm like, man, for so much of my life, I have internalize this belief that I'm inferior. It has to do with my race, my, religion, coming from the community that I come from, with all the messages that we see in the media, my body image, just so many things that made me internalize this belief that I'm worth less than other people. As much as I've tried to work through that, I'm like, maybe I need to have this alter ego that kind of overcorrects a little bit, where it's like, oh no, but I'm Beyonce. If I'm gonna think I'm like the most special, most important person in the world, and if that's what it takes for me to heal from my lack of worthiness in certain areas of my life, for me, I'm okay with overcorrecting for a little bit. So I started doing that. I would start playing these little games with myself where when I walk into a room, I pretend that everyone knows me and everyone loves me, and I'm just this like magnetic person. And you're always gonna have people who misunderstand you. So there might be someone, you might be listening to this like, girl, that is very egotistical and narcissistic. And I'm okay with you thinking that. The reality is, if you've never struggled with self-worth that runs that deep, you won't understand how not egotistical what I'm saying is. Because what I'm saying is, I need to find an identity to attach myself to that believes she is so worthy and so important, and yes, so special, because we all are so special, and she has this divine purpose that no one else understands maybe, but she understands it. And if stepping into that identity helps me feel worthy, then I'm okay with people thinking that I'm egotistical and narcissistic. It's been so nice to take that approach of like, I'm very important And God has something so special to me, and that's why I'm waking up at 5 a.m. And that's why I'm choosing to put healthy things in my body. And that's why I'm choosing to be more active. And that's why I'm spending a little bit more money to buy something that's better quality. To me, that just makes me feel so much different about the choices that I'm making. Like, again, months ago, I was doing the same things, but even my 5 a.m. wake up, it's like, sometimes I would look at it like I feel bad for myself. Like, oh, you get motivation in the morning, and so you need to wake up earlier because you can't get all the things you want to get done. Like, it always came from this place of like lack, and I just don't want to feel that way. I want to feel grateful for all the choices that I'm making, because again, ain't nobody holding a gun to my head telling me you need to wake up several hours before your workday starts. I'm at a place now where through this alter ego Beyonce thing, I'm just like, no, I get to do all of this. I'm waking up at 5 because it feels beautiful to wake up when things, especially living in a big ass city like LA, when things are so loud. Waking up at 5 and like having that time to myself, it feels so beautiful to know that one day, inshallah, when we have kids, I will be in this habit of waking up super early, because I can still get some time to myself. I can still make sure I'm pouring into myself while taking care of other people. It feels so beautiful to be able to take walks every day in the middle of my workday because I work remotely. I want to look at things through the lens of like, I'm special and I'm being separated for a reason, and I'm being chosen, and it's okay if nobody understands, because I understand and I believe in it. I don't know, at some point it just becomes this like inside joke between you and yourself. If you're somebody who is on a journey, whatever that is, maybe it's similar to me, maybe you have a certain body goal, regardless what that is. Maybe you have a career goal. Maybe you're even like in the dating phase and you're trying to find your person. You feel ready for that type of love. I just want you to try 2 things. The first thing is what we just talked about. Think of an alter ego. Think of somebody in your life, whether they're dead or alive, whether you know them or not, who embodies the kind of value and just identity, really, that is going to help you approach this journey in the way that you want to approach it, with the perception that you want to approach it, with the attitude, with the confidence. If it's dating, think of like who you want to show up as on those dates. That's number 1, is the identity thing. Number 2, and this is the only way that the identity thing will work, decide that what's actually true in the world is honestly less important for this specific thing, not for everything, but for this specific thing. What is actually true is so much less important than what you believe is true. So whether it's true or not that my body and my metabolism is just so bad, and that's why like it's so sad that I have to make these choices, let's say that is true. What value does that give me to think that while I'm doing it? So maybe I can inject myself with a belief that maybe is not true, that I'm just so special and God chose me, and that's why I choose to eat a salad, because I'm investing into my health because I'm special and I need to take care of my body because it's meant to do such special things, right? Maybe that's not true, but can you just think of like the trajectory of your life with each of those beliefs being so vastly different? This belief comes from a place of self-pity and just inferiority. And this belief, maybe you think it comes from a place of superiority. To me, it comes from a place of just like believing you're special and believing you're worthy. And imagine the glass ceilings you will just shatter approaching life through that reality, you know? When you think of this alter ego or this identity, don't let your internal like auditor or narrator tell you like no, but that's not true, because that's what would happen with me. We're not here to talk about truth. We're here to talk through belief. There are a lot of beliefs that all of us hold that we will never find out whether they are true or not until the day that we die, and then it'll be too late. So why not just believe in something that actually helps you get to where you want to go and shut out all the doubt? Just focus and choose the belief that is going to get you to where you want to go. Just reject any thoughts that challenge that self-belief in a toxic way. I hope that this resonated with you. I hope it found the right people, and I hope it's just hitting you at the most perfect time. I believe in you so much, but that's not even important if you don't believe in yourself in that same way. I love you so much, and as always, stay powerful, my loves.